What would you like to discuss?
Okay, I have a bunch of stuff. We'll see how much we get through. First, I'd like to better understand the relationship between our individual and collective realities at this time of transformation. And you said
Yes.
you are going through an idea of transformation, and you are agreeing to do that in your own respective parallel realities together. So the way I understand that is that we're creating our own individual realities, but we have agreed upon ideas such as we're living on a planet called Earth and in a year called 2023. So each of us creates their own version of Earth,
Yes.
and whoever's on our frequency will be on that same version of Earth with us. Is that right?
Well, yes, you'll create a similar version and agree to share that idea. You're not literally on the same planet, but you can create your version to be so similar to someone else's version that it would seem so in physical terms.
Ah, okay. Is this related to the idea of a prism that I've heard you speak about? That we
There's
can
a splitting prism, yes.
Yes, I'm fairly new to your work. I'm catching up. Could you describe that briefly to me, this idea of the prism?
Well, the idea is to understand that any version of Earth you can imagine already exists simultaneously. They all exist at the same time because time is an illusion. So everything exists at once. Any version of Earth you can imagine. And therefore, as your consciousness navigates itself, shifts itself through all these different versions to create what you call a timeline, a lifespan, you are literally experiencing a multitude of different Earths billions of times per second. You're navigating yourself based on your vibrational frequency, based on your intentional focus through the different Earths in a manner, in a sequence that will allow you to experience continuity, going from what you call the so-called past to the so-called future. But that's a linear way to experience the idea of process and change. And it is all up to you to decide exactly where you're navigating to or through. But at this timing on your planet, because of the transformations you've agreed you should be experiencing, you can split now off from different people in different directions to experience different Earths that eventually one will no longer experience the other's experience of Earth. You'll only experience the ones that are similar enough on your wavelength so that you are all coherent and in harmony with whatever it is you have decided to experience as a version of Earth, while others you may be interacting with now may go off in a different direction and experience ultimately a completely different set of Earths. And the two will no longer meet. The two will no longer agree. The two will no longer experience each other. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Other people have said that the Earth itself is going through a transformation and ascension. But does that really mean, though, that all versions of Earth are going higher? Because we're all going higher,
well, you're not all going higher. That's the point.
Yeah, you're right.
Some will go to a more dense negative direction. Some will go to a higher direction. Some will go in between. There are many different versions. So the idea is that that includes the Earth because you're shifting. Everything shifts. You're in a different universe, literally billions of times a second. Everything shifts. Any change is a total change.
Wow. Okay. And at what level are these shifts occurring? For example, are the cells in my body, do they have enough are they shifting billions of times per second independent of, quote, my shifts?
Let me put it this way. You are not in the same body moment to moment. You are in the body that is relevant to the Earth you're on. So it's not like the cells have to shift. The idea is your consciousness is shifting, but there is already a physical representation in all the different Earths, if you so choose there to be. So it's not like the cells have to shift. They're already inhabiting the Earth you're shifting to.
Wow. Okay.
Because it's just your consciousness that's shifting.
Yes.
It's like a projector light going through frames on a film strip. The idea is that the film strip, each frame is its own frame. But as the projector light illuminates it, you get a different experience, a different scenario. But the frame is already there. The frame contains everything that it needs to contain. It's a whole frame. It's the projector light that is shifting from frame to frame.
Okay. All right. I think this is starting to make sense at a different level. Thank
All
you.
right.
I love this whole idea of parallel realities. Okay.
Yes.
Can differences in channel information about historical figures be attributed to the channels tapping into different parallel realities?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That doesn't mean it's always the case, but yes, it can be contributed to that or attributed to that in certain cases. Yes.
That makes sense. All right. Different stream of thought. Many of us were taught that energy cannot be created or destroyed.
That is true.
Yeah, I can see that it can't be destroyed, but isn't it created all the time from the quantum vacuum? Or is there an already infinite amount of energy in the vacuum?
There is already an infinite amount. It may change its form, it may change its expression,
But
it is not being created. It exists already because it's the vibration of existence itself.
Got it. Okay, great. That's what I was thinking. Okay, you say in chapter 12 of Masters of Limitation that the law of attraction is that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. But the definition I've always heard is more like one of your laws of existence. What you put out, you get back. Or another version is that which is like unto itself is drawn. So those two concepts seem very different to me. The one says there's an equal and opposite reaction.
The equal and opposite reaction is usually something that's more physically expressed. The idea of the law of attraction is something that's more expressed in terms of energy reflections.
Yeah. Okay. So they're just referring to different levels or different fractals or whatever you want to call that.
Yes.
Okay. Different densities, maybe.
Yes. One is more an expression of the physics of physical reality. The other is more an expression of the consciousness reflections that you experience in energy terms.
Okay. All right. The law that everything exists now.
Yes.
Does this mean that what we perceive as cause and effect at the physical level is just a temporary construct, an idea? Because it seems to me. Okay. That's what I thought.
Everything happens at once. The cause and the effect exist simultaneously.
It's only our perception of time that makes it look like cause and effect.
Correct.
Okay.
Because then you get to experience process. You get to experience change. You get to discover something new about yourself from a different perspective. And that's how you actually grow. Because the structure of existence never changes. What changes is your relationship to it, your perspective of it, your experience of it. That's how creation expands.
Lovely. That's beautiful. EMF, I'm sure you've heard of many people wear or have these protection devices that are supposed to be protecting them from electromagnetic fields. Are they basically just permission slips that help us believe that we're stable and healthy?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, sometimes, depending on the device, there may be some physics to it. There may be some science to it. But for the most part, those things are about being permission slips that align with a belief system. Whether or not they are effective depends upon the honesty with which a person is in touch with what they actually believe to be true.
Yes, I get that. Okay, that's great. That's great. And this is my last question if we have time. Could you share with me, I know you shared this before, but I just haven't caught up, your basic definitions of oversoul, soul, and higher mind?
You can look at it this way. The oversoul could be looked at as a collection of individual souls, but it knows itself as a unified being, but experiences simultaneously all of the individual souls that are extensions of it, in much the same way that your fingers are extensions of a hand. The soul is one of the individual extensions, the finger. The higher mind is that portion of the soul that remains non-physical while it projects a portion of itself into the idea or dream of the idea of being physical. So it creates a physical mind to have a physical experience, but retains a portion of itself, perhaps even the larger portion of itself, in non-physical reality as the soul. So you have oversoul, individual soul, broken down into non-physical higher mind and physical mind to have a physical incarnational experience. Does that help?
Yes, that's intuitively what I was thinking. I guess I was getting. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. Like, so if are oversouls related to certain qualities, or like science or beauty or music? Are they? Do they have?
They can be archetypally connected to certain concepts in that way. They don't have to be. They can be connected to multiple concepts as well. But in terms of the idea of the approximately 8 billion individual souls and incarnations on your planet, this is representative of only about 300,000 to 500,000 oversouls.
Wow. Yeah. And so let's say the oversoul of which my soul is a part is, let's call it purple. Does that mean that my soul is purple?
Well, your soul may have that purple vibration, but it may also be overlaid with other colors that are representative of what that individual soul's journey is all about.
Got it. Okay. I think we have covered all of my questions, and I am so grateful for this interaction with you, Bashar. Thank you so much.
Our deep appreciation to you as well, Aveo.
Aveo.
Hello, Bashar. My name's Amuda, and I'm from Melbourne, Australia. My question to you today is about sexual energy, and I'm just wanting to know what your perspective is on that, how we can channel it in a way that is honoring us and those around us most. For example, I understand it could be interpreted as just creative energy, so putting that into a passion project or something like that. But I'm wondering if there are ways that it can be misused, and how to navigate through that as well. Thank you.
Just about anything can be misused. All you have to do is be authentic within yourself and have the discernment to tell the difference when you are acting on something from excitement or acting out of anxiety. If you can determine that and have discernment within yourself about which energy you are using, then as long as you are acting out of your true excitement and not anxiety, not negative or fear-based beliefs, then you can move forward in an authentic way and apply it however you wish in your society.
Good day, Bashar.
What would you like to discuss this day?
Well, it is really a good day communicating with you. It's been a while. Well, my first question is you talking about removing the fear-based beliefs. I'm having some challenges in that regard. No
Yeah.
matter what modality I use, like meditations, therapy, or digging deep, they still creep up. They still come up. And
they may continue to do so as long as you believe that they serve you somehow. Remember, that's the motivational mechanism. You don't hold on to something at all, ever, unless you have a belief that says it's somehow better to hold on to it than the alternative. So you have to allow yourself to understand, what is it you're getting out of holding on to it? What benefit do you believe you're getting by holding on to those negative beliefs as opposed to the alternative? If you're making the alternative seem scarier, then you will continue to hold on to the beliefs that you have, no matter how uncomfortable they may be, because you're making the alternative seem worse. So you don't do anything that you don't believe benefits you. So even though you may intellectually know that these negative beliefs don't benefit you, you will continue to hold on to them, and they will continue to crop up as long as you have a belief that the alternative is worse.
And how would I get to the point where I actually realize that?
Well, can you give us a specific instance in which you find that you are still experiencing these fear-based beliefs?
Yes, for example, there has been a lot of cancer in the family. None of them are genetic, but the fact that we have to go for checkups and stuff every single time, the anxiety, the fear of what if really.
All right, all right. So let's address that. So what if you actually wind up having cancer? Why are you afraid of that?
Well, I have witnessed all the pain, the suffering, and
All right.
everyone.
You understand that pain is resistance to the situation at hand. If you allow yourself to have no resistance, there is no pain. Do you believe that it's possible that getting cancer can actually benefit someone, can actually serve someone in a certain way? Do you believe that that might be possible?
Yes, that is possible.
Well, if it is possible in your mind, then why are you afraid of it if you know that it can serve you?
Because most of the time I see the negative experience more.
What have they got to do with you?
Okay.
What have they got to do with you? What are their choices have to do with your choices? Just because someone may not allow themselves to experience the idea in a beneficial, positive way, what does that mean with regard to the choices you could make in the same situation? Could you not make different choices? Could you not understand it in a different way? Could you not give it a different definition for yourself, regardless of what someone else may have experienced?
Yes, I guess so.
Well, then why are you holding on to the idea that the only choice for you is something similar to what they chose?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know. That's why I said it. Does that help alleviate the fear to some degree? Knowing that you could make a different choice of how to experience something like that, should it occur?
Yes.
It could serve you in a variety of ways if you allow it to. And the idea really, paradoxically, is that being willing to know that you can do that you can make a different choice, actually reduces the need to have that experience. Because it may be that the only reason those people are having the painful version of that experience is they're simply not willing to allow it to serve them in a positive way. But you could learn similar lessons by doing something else. If you're willing to accept all things as having a reason for being there that could serve you, then you can have the freedom to choose other ways in which to learn the same lessons rather than being resistant to any particular way that might crop up, knowing that anything can serve you if you stay in a positive state. This is why we talk about the formula, and one of the principles in the formula being stay in a positive state no matter what happens. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to extract a benefit from it. You're only going to experience it in a negative way. But if you understand the importance and the relevance of knowing anything can serve you in a positive way, if you let it, you can figure that out, figure out how it might be serving you or even serving others that you have that particular experience, then it really doesn't matter what happens, and you can relax about the idea and not be tense or anxious about any particular thing happening, because you know and understand how the formula works, and you know and understand that by assigning a more positive effect to this idea, that it can serve you in a positive way and serve others in a positive way. And so why would you care what happens? Make sense?
Yes, yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, a lot.
All right. Do you feel a little bit more relaxed?
Yes.
Take a deep breath in and let it out. So, anything else?
Yes. Few years ago, you told me that I'm participating in the hybridization program,
Yes.
acclimating the children.
Yes, teaching them about life on Earth. Yes.
Yes. Any update on that? Where I am?
No, it's still going on, but it is getting closer, which is why we have called this particular transmission 1 minute to midnight. Tick tock, it's not so far away. Get on about aligning yourself with who you truly are and recognize that you are this close to contact.
Am I going to be able to meet some of those children?
Potentially. We can't say for sure, but potentially there is a high probability.
All right. And also, I've had this vivid dream a few years back that there was a spacecraft right in the backyard. The stairs were down, and a male figure was standing on top with like a bleach blonde long hair, like waiting for me or something.
Yes.
Can you shed some light on that?
This is a reflection of your Pleiadian connection.
Oh, I thought so. Oh, wow. Thanks for confirming that.
Yes. Anything else?
Yes. When in Egypt, in the Giza pyramids, when I touched the walls, I was going through time so fast, like back in time.
Yes.
I don't know what was happening in that moment.
Well, it's not uncommon. The idea of the Great Pyramid is a generator of energy. Even though it's not necessarily functioning in the way that it used to, it still is capable of generating fluctuations in space, fluctuations in time. It has the ability to pop a person out of the space-time continuum into the astral realm as well, when the person is in the right frame of mind, in the right state of being. So you may experience in the Great Pyramid different kinds of time and space fluctuations. It's not unusual.
All right. That's cool. Another question I have, I use a pendulum as a permission slip to have a communication with my higher mind, higher self.
Yes.
Is that a good tool to use?
Well, you're attracted to use it, so I guess it works for you.
All right. But then there are times when I use it as a yes or no.
Yeah.
Mhm. Sometimes,
no.
sometimes it's very accurate and sometimes it's not. So I'm really like,
Well, again, you are being trained to learn how to tell for yourself, to discern for yourself what path to take. So the idea is that sometimes it will seem to be in alignment and sometimes it won't, to give you the opportunity to practice knowing the difference of what path to take without the pendulum. Because it's not about always relying on the pendulum. It's about relying on yourself. So the pendulum will also act as a teaching device so that you understand that you have the ability to tell the difference as to what path is correct for you, yes or no.
I see. Also,
so you have to rely more on your own abilities.
Okay. About that. About relevance, how do we know? Is it like following the formula that what is relevant or not?
Yes. Remember, one of the things about the formula is it activates the tool of relevance. Only the things that are relevant for you will pop up, or it will teach you how to tell the difference between what is and isn't relevant for you. You'll have better discernment, better sensing about that idea, which is what we were just talking about.
Right.
Remember, all permission slips also contain the idea of losing the need for the permission slip and relying mostly on yourself as the permission slip. So permission slips, when used properly, will render themselves obsolete eventually.
I do sometimes ask the question without the pendulum and then wait. I don't even need to wait really. In that instant, I hear within myself the answers. But then there are moments that I don't know if I'm doubting the answer or not, but
yes, you probably are. But again, remember that doubt is simply a trust in something you don't prefer.
Oh, okay.
So again, keep practicing. You'll get better at it.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't worry about the timing.